Hey there, I am back with a look at Mixu's mods, and this time we're going to look at the Campaign Supplement. This mod has a number of elite units which are based on your all can be recruited in the same price, which is where the regiments of renown are kept in their campaign. The specific units are all for the Empire factions, and this also includes all the Mixu legendary Empire Lords, which I've done a series of videos on, and there'll be a link in the top right hand corner now. To unlock any of these units, the elect account for that region needs to be hit a specific level, and it's usually 10 or 20, and then you can recruit the unit. So let us journey to the Empire and go through each particular units. All 17 of them, so get your favourite beverage and you have to start with the melee infantry. As always, all the stats are based on ultra settings. As the name suggests, the Altdorf Company of Honour are the elite, and are handpicked from all the other Altdorf regiments, and these are the bravest and the best of their group, and are led by Otto Houston, a warrior who wants to make his name in the world. This halberd unit comes in at 1000 points, 56 melee defense, which is high for the Empire, and expert charge defense, 24 AP damage and a bonus to the charge of 16, making this a great protection unit. They are slow but have high armour and unbreakable, so ideal for protecting a mage or important units like artillery. With that huge bonus to the charge, best use a counter-attack against a cav charge or just place them on a flank to block a route. Even elite cav would think twice before going up against this unit. Founded during the Vampire Wars, the Death's Heads wore masks to protect their identity, as whoever spoke up against Vlad von Karstein mysteriously disappeared. They made a name for themselves when they freed Essen during a rebellion, and now take recruits from there and all over Ostermark. Much like the Altdorf Company of Honour, this is another halberd unit, but it's not as well as armoured, but do come with a shield. This gives them a defence match to them, but they're not as elite, and have a noticeable drop off in melee attack and leadership. With these drop in stats, they are cheaper at 850, but still possess that punch with AP 24 and a bonus to the charge of 16. After years of fighting the undead, they have a unique ability of doing melee attack and defence, or any of these undead units around them. So if you're planning a campaign against the vampires, this is a great place to start with, as this unit can really do a good job in the front line. They also cause fear, so it can provide extra unit choice against the low leadership factions as well, making it a very flexible unit. The infamous Mans Braves are a mercenary regiment from Marienburg, and they're led by Captain Ddraig van der Krauw. This unit hides from some of the best killers, cutthroats and brigands around, and are known for their hand-to-hand fighting. As you might expect, to keep this unit under some control, then the captain must be just as dark, and Ddraig van der Krauw is just that. Pirate, mercenary, smuggler, to name but a few. He's a man of fearsome reputation and is well respected by his men, or possibly feared. One of the cheapest units on this list at 650 points, but don't let that cheap cost fool you. They are very effective and damage dealing unit. While they act the AP at only 7, they do have a bonus to infantry of 8. Surprisingly, for a damage dealing unit, they are pretty good in defence, but do lack armour, so they're not as durable, but they won't melt like say Fragians. With good melee attack and the dirty fighter mechanic, lowering armour and defence, they can punch above their weight quite effectively. A nice charge bonus as well, making them handy on the flank, and applying their debuff to any enemy they hit. This makes them great for ganging up on elite units you're struggling with. Because of their fearsome reputation, they also provoke fear, which is always a good ability to have on an Empire unit. Back with a halberd unit now, and this group of Knights of the Black Yanks are usually stationed in Blackfire Pass, so they know a thing or two about fighting. Coming from Aviand, they are elite of the elite of the Mountain Guard. A rarity for a knightly order, they do not fight on horseback, and prefer the silent approach to catch the enemy off guard. A Vanguard Stork halberd unit at 900 points is a strange mix, but still an interesting one. Personally, I usually prefer speed on my Vanguard units, but with this Stork mechanic, this makes this unit more interesting. Again, 56 defense and a good attack if I use, with the damage you've seen from the other halberd units. They do have reasonable armour, making them good survivors. They also have the ability, if they're using the increased defense resistance and boost leadership, making them even tougher to get off the battlefield for the enemy. It is a strange unit to be a Vanguard unit, as I usually like to charge them in, but this particular unit has no charge bonus. So what can you use them for? Well, if you're running a heavy Vanguard build, you can use this unit to protect them. Another use is facing an enemy with large units. You can sneak this unit in behind their charge and cause a fair amount of damage. With your chance the enemy will realise they are there until it's too late. Led by witch hunter Joseph von Hellhunten, the Hellhunten's Redeemers specialise in hunting vampires. They hail from Sturland, and all members of experienced Joss against the undead, and have vowed to take their revenge against them. Along with Joseph, they are always accompanied by a priest of Sigma as a spiritual guidance. While the stats do not jump off the page like previous units, being the low armour and low defence, but they do provide decent attack, and at their 875 cost, they do not seem worth it, but we do have some interesting things to talk about. The damage is decent with your AP at 7, but a nice bonus to infantry at 8. They also have a decent charge as well, so they can do some good damage against the low armour values of the undead. What they do have, to justify the cost, is 3 abilities. First, the Hex, Young Leadership against the undead. It's great for pushing that crumbling effect. Damage resistance at plus 22%, which is pretty high for the cost. And the Archery Miscast chance, plus 25% map wide, which is the real kicker. Disrupting the vampire's cast with a 1 in 4 chance is very viable and is a constant. So in the end, this unit has more utility than you may think, and against the undead it's an automatic include. The Priests of Tau make of this unit the Horned Hunters, and they worship the forest, wearing yellow clothing except for animal skins or young claws. They are heavily tattooed as part of the initiation. Prowler Woods around Tabrikand, they are zealots, but they act with fiery devotion that you may expect from others, but they are dedicated to the Tau and the forest. This unit is unbreakable, which is very handy, but have no armour or defence, and they can disappear under any pressure. We do possess Stalk and Vanguard, which is very helpful, as at least the enemy will not see them coming, and archers cannot pick them off as easily. They also have an ability, when they're in the forest, to have more physical resistance and more speed, which makes them a bit more interesting and of course a bit tougher. The Talbham Curs are units made up of very vulgar and very pungent men, and have a surprisingly long tradition in Talbheim, as there are numerous of these regiments around the area. The arse of the melee infantry is an interesting one, as they have high leadership and reasonable damage, with a dirty fighting debuff as well. At only 650 points, they are pretty cheap units of renown, and with a decent defence and attack, they are reasonably tough as well. They do suffer with the OIP values, but they can do some work as a debuff unit, and also have the ability to swarm of flies, decreasing enemy melee attack by 5, which is always handy. For that points cost, and providing some valuable debuffs, making this a handy unit in any army. Onto the missile units now, starting off with the Noon Ironsiders. Taken from the Imperial Gunnery School, at Noon they are widely respected and very well equipped, having gained a lot of fame from the rest of the Empire. They are one of the most revered of the handgunner regiments. First thing that leaps off the card is a 95 armour, which is dwarf level high for a missile unit. You do have to pay 1000 points for this, and that is the reason why. They do have plus 6 more damage on each shot compared with standard handgunners, so they pack quite a punch. Also, they're not completely awful in a fight. They are still poor, but not as bad as normal missile units. And if you're facing a high armour faction, this unit is very viable. Coming from Sturland, the Death Jacks is a renowned bunch of archers who are skilled trackers. They were first used in the Civil War of the Three Empires and have been used as scouts ever since. At only 550 points, they are the cheapest units on this list. They are very cost effective with Stalk and Vanguard and even Snipe, so they're great at picking off low armour units, as their damage is very high at 27. Take these against low armour factions, Beastmen being an obvious candidate, and shoot into the backs. And if you spot any low armoured heroes or lords, this unit can get their cast back very easily. Just make sure you pick the right target, as unit of Chaos Warriors will just yaff at the lack of AP. From the Hochland area, and using the young rifle invented by Leon Toddmaster, these are the Yeet Snipers. When Hergag is threatened, these snipers go up to the towers and pick off viable targets with their rifles, such as Goblin Leaders, or even the eyes of the huge spiders from the forest. So if you fancy doing some sniping, and that troublesome wizard is causing you too much damage? Well, here's the answer. The silly range of 350 makes this unit a hero killer for the Empire. When there's only 8 models, they pack a huge punch and pretty much all their damage is AP. They also have the ability to snipe, so they can stay hidden while shooting. As long as you carefully place them, you should not need to worry about them. If they do get caught out, they will die quickly, and at 800 points that would be a waste. Remember, they only have 12 shots, so pick a target well, and make sure line of sight is not much of an issue. The AI does like its heroes, so this unit can be very valuable on the battlefield. A Merc unit from Tyria, they will fight for anyone who can afford them, and they provide a good option as a superior crossbow unit. With excellent damage at 27, 7 more in your standard units of crossbowmen, and a poison attack, this unit provides some viable debuffing potential. Where they have no Vanguard option, and at 780 points, they are reasonably priced, with superior melee skills to boot. If you need some poison in your army, which by the way, not many units of the Empire provide. The Sardel's stickers can do some nice work weakening the enemy infantry or just debuffing a unit of missile units while you exchange fire with them. Coming from the province of Ostend, and are frequently under the banner of the Elector Count von Rakov. They are highly effective at each handgun unit. The first thing that hits me on this card is a double barrel handgun. Yes, all that damage you see from your missiles, double it. Naturally, this makes this unit expensive and is at 1000 points. And them having a double gun means an 18-second reloading time, but they do serious damage in that double shot. Personal preference is save their few shots when you have a clear line of sight of the enemy and then move them into the flanks, as wasting the firepower on not a sure shot can be wasted for damage. Also, as an added bonus, they are unbreakable, not a huge deal for a missile unit, but it is quite handy. The Burgier is a unit of expert trappers, and they are famed for their hunting ability. Anti-Yarge missile unit now, with solid damage no matter what, with 8 dark bonus versus Yarge, but they act the AP at only 5. This unit comes in at 780 points, and has some decent use on the battlefield. It's mainly from their snare ability. This constant ability slows enemy down around them, giving the unit more time to get the shot off, or to move a unit to block an attack. Hailing from the forest of Yorian, this unit is now technically part of Nordiand, and occasionally some of the eager elves come out to the forest and will join the fight to a common foe. Weight Watchers are some of my favourite units in the game, and now I can get to use one for the Empire. As you can see from the stats, they are of course a elite missile unit, and even in combat they are not too bad. Their main weakness being lack of armour, but can certainly do a number on some low tier infantry if they must. Their new model count at only 60 does not affect them as they are elite of elite, and no one in the Empire can match their skill with a bow. Outranging pretty much any standard unit, and doing a lot of damage with their AP missiles, they are a serious threat on the battlefield. Also, they possess the hawkish precision, which just increases their damage potential. A brilliant unit at a high cost at 1500 points, so protect them as they are perfect for a Vanguard army build, if expensive. This other unit comes direct from Loon's famous academy, which experts missions and black powder units. Eagle-eyed people will see there are 6 cannon in this unit instead of the usual 4. This is because all Loon batteries are composed of 6 artillery pieces to represent the archers at the northern bridge. What more can I say, but more cannons means more damage. A rare thing to have in Warhammer 2. And this unit should be protected at all costs. So prepare to have one eye on it and make sure your no flank is completely exposed, as the amount of damage this unit can put out is formidable and can really destroy an enemy front line. It only costs 1100 points, which is the same as an additional regiment of renown, the Hammer of the Riches. Before I move on, there is an auto ability called Entrenchment, making this unit a bit tougher, but more to the point, lots more AP. So have this on as much as you can. Founded in the time of the 3 Emperors, the Knights of the Black Rose were the bodyguard of the Emperor or Elector Count of Sturland. Their history is surrounded in mystery, as they have a tendency to change allegiances. As heavily armoured, each Cav force is an excellent all-rounder with no weaknesses. Good charge, shielded with that 110 armour, and when in a fight they can take a bit of damage with that 39 melee defence. The damage is also solid with 12 AP and a nice 18 anti-charge bonus, making the units a good choice against Cav, and they also provoke fear, so they're a good all-round package for the 1400 cost. However, they do have a debuff due to their unknown nature. They're not to be trusted, so drop leadership by 8 when near allies. This is especially difficult to manage if you charge in to help a unit who is struggling, as this sudden drop in leadership can make them 3. So be aware of where they are, and the ideal for picking off units which are isolated is to keep them from debuffing your own troops. A small and elite Demigryph Knightly Order who dedicate themselves into the Guard of Tal. Their goal is to eliminate all chaos. To enter the order, you have to travel into the forest and capture Demigryph, which is likely the main reason they are such a small order. Being Demigryphs, they are a formidable unit, fast and very hard hitting with a ton of armour, while a standard unit Demi with halberds are the same cost but have inferior stats. This unit is more accomplished in battle and increases across the board in combat, making them excellent monster killers or cav hunters, with a shield as well and Vanguard, meaning this is a rare unit and should be used carefully and not waste the power on low tier infantry. Lastly, we have the Fairworth Brotherhood, a unit of elite knights of the White Wolf, hailing from the Middenheim province. This ill-disciplined force of knights are ferocious fighters, and they have the combat prowess to really destroy anything in their path, especially infantry. With amazing stats in melee combat and a huge damage potential with the 34 AP damage, 8 of this is anti-infantry. And do not forget they have Frenzy. They are wrecking balls of cav force. While they best stay out of the way of anti-arch threats, they can certainly hold their own if they need to. Their cost at 1500 makes them expensive as Demigryphs, but do provide a really good choice for all your infantry killing needs. However, they do have the Berserk mechanic, so this is not all good news. This has never been my favourite mechanic, but on this unit, kind of fits their ill-disciplined nature, so always be aware if they're in trouble and leadership is dropping. Just as my game loads up, I just thought I'd talk about a bit more about how the units are recruited and a few more features of this excellent mod. So if you've already seen the units, and I've just showed it up as Listened with Elspeth von Draken, and as you can see, there's a verb, and there you go. So this is a little campaign event, and if you use this mod, this and this is the same for other of the accounts. So if you choose one of the others, you get a little quest to do. You get a few extra campaign bits for each of Mixu's yours. So I just wanted to show off that bit as well. So it's well worth downloading this mod, even if you don't want to use the unit. You don't have to use the units. So here we are. I have to retake from the Crooked Moon. So I believe he still starts here. Oh, there. Scarsnick. So, but you still have to take his these units of goblins out, and they own here. So we'll put the garrison. So they're all a basic garrison, nothing special, but just something to get your campaign rolling. And if you read the blurb in the top left hand corner, it just said, "So greenskins have entered their hands. You need to get rid of them." And I believe there's a few more campaign quests as you go along, and a little bit of fluff here and there. So the other reason I wanted to show you this is because of where you recruit the regiments, all these units you've just seen. So here they all are, along with your standard regiments of renown. So there's a lot of things to unlock here. And if you remember what it serves, right this in the intro, I remember saying that you need to get your reactor count up to a certain level. So I'm with Elspeth here, so that's obviously Vicinant, and Vicinant gets this particular unit, the Iron's War, an excellent cannon unit. And all she has to do is reach level 10. Now, as I mentioned, like that one needs level 20, level 10, but it's between level 10 and level 20. I don't think there is anything which is not level 10 or 20. So a quick glance over it while we're here. Level 20, level 10, there's no one of level 20. No, we're all good. And there you are. And there's, of course, some of the regiments of renown are still the standard way you're knocking them by hitting level 30. But all the first batch with a question mark on, that's all the ones you can unlock using the select account method and Mixu's mod. One other thing it brings is, and I'm in the wrong faction, I need to go to the Wood Elves, so give me 2 seconds while I load that up. Okay, so I've just loaded up the Wood Elves, and I've just loaded up Daith's here, campaign. One of the main reasons for this happens to be his forge, which I'll get to in a minute. But if you start off with Durthu or Ryan, you still get the forge. But the other reason, there's a number of reasons why I started as Daith. So let's have a quick look at the Forger's Style first. So here's the various weapons you can get. A fair choice, as you can see. Gold's not too much of a problem, but they always have this extra one, Ancient Relics, and I'll show you a bit more about that in a minute. And Mastercrafted Item. And as you can see, it says there, you need to build the actual Starlight Forge itself. And I'll show you that in a minute, but as you can see, it's located in this area. The other reason I started as Daith. So each one of these, you can see what they cost. And then you got armour. As you it's obviously the same mechanic as the Dwarves and the Tomb Kings. And they just added this for the Wood Elves. Personally, I think this could be implemented in a couple of other ones. Obviously not the green skins, definitely not the Beastmen. Of Chaos. Maybe the High Elves? That's a possibility. Yisman? Possibly? Who knows? Anyway, back to this. So there's the armour. I'm not going to go for each one. I don't see much point. I'll just scroll down and you can see some of the ones, and then you can just load it up yourself and have a go. Just to point out that some of these are only for Grady Hordes, so just bear that in mind. That sounds good. What's that one? Ooh, that's very good. Whipper Agony and Agony. That's more like a Dark Elf thing. Let's be fair. Word of Pain. That is a Dark Elf thing. That's weird. And as you can see, I have Drum of Orc Skin. They're just various things. All quite unique. And all very, very good. And the last we've got arcane items. So let's have a Cube of Darkness. All magic created. All the usual stuff. I'm sure you get the picture. So, in Val's Anvil, if you open up the building browser, there is a Starlight Forge. So it just gives you a quick note that it enables unique mastercrafted items in the Forge of Starlight. And that's how you get your relics. Well, it's one way to get relics. 80 relics generated per turn, 2. So that's obviously a must build. And you've got Petonia on your doorstep. And the other way, there's one. Well, I'll hover over this first. Ancient relics. So you can get it from events, you can get it from characters, skills, you can get it from setup buildings, and of course battle victories. So if I go into Dave's skill tree, and I've already done a few videos on Dave before. So for when I made my Mixu Year Yours 2, I believe, videos. One of them has got Daith in it, and the other Wood Elf, if memory serves. So check them out if you want to. And Living Legend, and that Ancient Relics generated 1 per turn. So that adds to your Relics quota as well. So there you go. There's a few things about this particular mod. So this campaign supplement is more about the Empire, I would say. As you can see, all the units were available to the Empire. Whether Mixu is going to expand it in the future, who knows? Hopefully it does. But this is a nice little bonus. This forge adds a bit more fluff to the campaign. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my another look at a Mixu mod. I kept meaning to come back to this particular one. I'm glad I had a chance. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.